You know, in a world of streaming music that's kind of temporary, something we just skip through halfway, there's just something real, something permanent about a physical disc. So today, we're going to dive into the soul of the disc and check out the gear that keeps that magic alive and well in 2026. So let me ask you a question, and I mean really think about it. When was the last time you actually sat down and just listened to an album? I don't mean having it on in the background while you're working or cleaning. I mean really sitting there, letting the music be the only thing that matters in that moment. Because music really does deserve our full attention, doesn't it? So think of this as a guided tour, a hand-picked collection of components that are all designed to honor that very experience. Let's get into the gear that makes it all happen. Okay, first up in our collection, we've got what I like to call the welcoming sound. This right here is the Marantz CD60, and let me tell you, it has this incredible coming home feeling the moment you press play. This quote just nails the experience perfectly. It's so intimate that it feels like the artist is right there in the room with you. It's not just sound coming out of speakers, it's a real presence. It's rich, it's smooth, and it's just so engaging. So how does it pull this off? Well, it's a really smart mix of engineering and, just convenience. Marantz upgraded the internal DAC. That's the digital to analog converter, the little brain that turns all those ones and zeros into the music you actually hear, and they tuned it specifically for that signature Marantz warmth. Plus, that front USB port is a nice little nod to modern life, so it welcomes your digital files just as warmly as it does your CDs. But what if you're not really looking for warmth? What if you're searching for the absolute truth in your music? Well, that brings us to our next piece, the honest sound, delivered by the Denon DCD 700 NE. This machine is for the listener who wants to hear every single detail in the recording, exactly as it was meant to be heard. The whole philosophy here is sonic purity. It's not trying to add its own flavor or splash its own color on the music. Nope. It's trying to present the track to you exactly as the artist and the engineer heard it in the studio. It's just a completely honest, unvarnished presentation of the music. And they get there through some seriously meticulous engineering. It uses an ultra-high precision converter, and the whole thing is built to resist vibration. Now, that might sound like a tiny detail, but any little shake can mess with how the laser reads the disc. By eliminating that, you get this incredibly deep and stable soundstage. That sense of space where you feel like you can almost point to where every musician is sitting. It's amazing. So here's the key takeaway, right? These two players, they represent two totally different ideas of what great sound even is. The Marantz is like it's pulling you into a warm, cozy hug. The Denon, on the other hand, puts you right in the recording booth behind the glass. One is all about intimacy, the other is all about authenticity. Of course, a great CD player needs a great engine room, and that's where the amplifier comes in. So let's talk about the powerful sound, brought to you by the YAMAHA AS501. I want you to think of this as the strong, silent type in our hi-fi system. And when I say strong, I really mean it. We're talking 85 watts per channel of clean, continuous power. Now, this isn't just about cranking up the volume, it's about control. This is the kind of power that gives music its dynamics, the ability to go from a tiny whisper to a huge roar in a split second. And it's what makes your speakers really, truly come alive. My absolute favorite feature on this amp has to be pure direct mode. It's kind of like taking all the filters off a photo so you can see the original untouched image. You press this one button, and the audio signal completely bypasses any extra circuits that could color the sound, giving you the cleanest, most transparent path from the source straight to your ears. Seriously, everything about this Yamaha is just built for performance. It uses a special design for the most direct signal path possible. It has that classic aluminum faceplate with these solid, satisfying controls, and you'll notice something's missing. There's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. And that's a deliberate choice. It's focusing every single ounce of its design on pure audio quality, not on bells and whistles. All right, let's look at the last piece. This is what you might call the endgame component. This is for when you want something that is both a sonic masterpiece and, frankly, a literal work of art. Meet the masterpiece sound, the Marantz SACD 30N. This quote, man, it just gets right to the very heart of what this player is all about. It's not just about listening to music, it's about feeling it. It delivers such a refined, sparkling, and deeply natural sound that it can actually reconnect you to the core emotion of your favorite songs. It's incredible. What's so brilliant here is how it bridges the best of both worlds.
It plays these ultra-high-resolution super audio CDs. That's an even higher quality format than standard CDs for the ultimate physical media experience. But it also has a high-quality network streamer built right in. So it's the pinnacle of the past and the future, all in one absolutely stunning package.
So, after looking at all of this, the welcoming, the honest, the powerful, and the masterpiece, it all comes back to a really simple question. It's not really about the specs or the price tag, it's about this. When the music starts, how do you want to feel?